All right, so I want to take off the back wheel to replace the tire. So to do that, I have to take off the exhaust, which I already did. That's a different video. Now this video is actually not taking off the wheel yet. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take off this swing arm. So this right here, it's held on by these two bolts. All right, these two bolts, and I think they're 14. Let's see. Yeah, 14 millimeters. Yep. So those are the two structural bolts that's holding it. Other thing that it attaches to is the shock bolt on the back. So let's see what size this one is. I think this is a 12. Yeah, it's 12. Okay, 12. And these two is for the fender. These are 10 millimeters. These ones, I mean, the fender is attached here, but also on the other side is attached to the swing arm on the other side, the drive swing arm. And I don't want to detach it from that side because it's, you know, it's like more, the space is tighter and it's just, you know, more work. It's easier right here because right here it's exposed and it's easy. So that's and obviously the axle bolt, not bolt but nut. And I believe this one's a 24 millimeter. Let's see, man, that's dirty. Yep, 24 millimeter. That's very dirty. So what I'm gonna do first, let me take off these bolts here first. Let me actually put this thing on an angle because the camera's like right in front of my face and it's in my way. It's like I have to extend my arm all the way straight to reach these things. I don't want to do that. It's not ergonomical. So those two. There's one. Two, so you just kind of unhook it a little bit. There it goes. It's off. Now this one right here was a 12. Right, 12 millimeter. Off, and the things just flop out of the way. Now for here, so the thing is this connects to the wheel, so when you spin this, the wheel will spin. So you have a couple of choices. One thing you do is you can set the parking brake, see if it's strong enough to hold this. It might not be. In my experience, it's not. So let me set the parking brake just to see if that works or not. Parking brake set. Now it doesn't spin, right? It doesn't spin freely anymore, right? So let's see if that's strong enough to hold this. I don't think it is. It never has been in the past for other bikes I've had, other scooters. See that? The whole thing just spun. Other thing you do is you could take off the drive cover. You take off the drive cover and hold the clutch and preventing that from spinning, the clutch bell. And I have a tool for that, but I'm not going to use it in this case. Instead, I'm going to make it easy on myself, and I'm just using an impact on this thing. So that's a 24 millimeter. You use a 24 millimeter socket, impact socket, which I have. Impact gun. There's my adapter here. Okay, so I got my impact gun right here, my adapter for the impact gun, and the 24 millimeter thingamabob here. Actually, I want to try something. Let me try and see if I could use my smaller. So I have this one. This is the micro version, but this thing it's not that strong. You know, this is the full size one, but this is an impact driver, so it's different. Whereas this is an impact wrench. But let me try this and see if it works. I don't think it's strong enough. I don't think this one is strong enough to work. But let's try it out. Okay. Let's see. Nope, not strong enough. Okay. You saw how long I held that, right? Nothing happened. So let's try the stronger full size one. Nope, it's on the weaker setting. Let me put it to the stronger setting. This one was actually, you know what? I didn't even check if this one was on the strong setting or not. Let's see. Oh yeah, it is on the stronger setting. Let me try the different strong setting. Let's try this one more time. Nope, nothing. Okay, so let's try the actual impact driver versus the impact wrench. So this is on the strongest setting right now. All the way in. Wow, even that had a hard time, but it still made it. You know, it's strong enough. There's a lot of dust. You know, maybe I should have wiped this thing first before I loosen it up. But anyways, that's that. That makes it much easier. If I have to hold the other side with the clutch bell, that means that one hand would have to hold the clutch bell, and the other hand, doing this, it's still a struggle, still difficult. So I think there's a little spacer right here. Let's see. Is that a spacer or is that part of the bushing? Yeah, it is a spacer. It moves. So let's just leave that in there. Hopefully, maybe that stays with the swing arm. All right, so let's do these 14 millimeters here. So 10 millimeter right here. Oops, the angle's not right. That angle was not right because this one is not a. It doesn't have, it doesn't wobble. I need to put a different extension on here. Oh, stand up. Sitting down there. Okay, good. Grab the other extension. Put a wobble extension on there. See if that helps. So I got a wobble extension on the head right here, so it wobbles. All right, versus not wobbling. See that? So this one could wobble, so hopefully that gives me enough clearance so we can fit on there nice and square. You want to make sure that it fits on nice and square. If it doesn't, you're gonna have problems. Okay, so it fits, man, just barely fits. Because this right here is thicker and it's hitting right here and it barely fits. Let me try a longer extension where I don't have to worry about that thickness part. So the angle is a little better. Okay, that's better. So I'm gonna use this one instead. So I'm holding this hand right here to support it, so that way this thing stays, the socket stays nice and flush, square on the bolt. And this one would be the power. Ah, shit. All right, let me do it on my right hand. I'm actually right-handed. Oh, whew, man, that's tight. Whew. So when I put it back, I'm probably not going to put it back as tight. At least I don't think I will. That felt really tight. But then again, this thing hasn't been busted open for 12 years. This was probably made, let's see, this is a 2010 model, but it was made in April of 09. So 09 to 19 is 10, 19, 20, 21, 22. So over 13 years. 13 years and 4 April, May, June, July. So it's 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. 19, 20, 21, 22. So 13 years and 3 months since this bike was built. And this is the first time it's ever been busted open. So I see corrosion on the threads a little bit, real light, not too bad. That's okay. No big deal there. Okay, the top one. So this one, I don't feel any corrosion on it. Usually when you feel corrosion, when there's corrosion in there, you feel resistance. When there's no corrosion, there's like no resistance. The threads are clean. Yeah, this one is clean. There's no corrosion at all. So usually lower end is more exposed to, you know, to the environment, whereas upper is a little bit less, you know, more to the water and such. So that's loose. This is off. Move this out, and I should maybe just slide this whole swing arm off. Let's see. Let's get a little close here. All right, let's move that out of the way. Let's get this up in here. They might be hung up with that thingamabob. Let me see if or you probably have to move this thing out nice and straight, because if it's not straight, if this doesn't move out nice and square, it gets hung up. Okay. Oh, the whole thing slides right off. So there's a spacer right here. All right, and also there's a spacer right there. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm not gonna touch those. So that way when I slide it back in, it stays exactly as it was. Okay, I see a little bit of grease there. I could actually wipe that off a little bit. I'll probably re-grease it a little bit when I put it back on. Some little dust there. Yeah, a little bit of grease. I see actually a little bit of corrosion, a little rust right here actually. That's surprising. Usually if there's grease there, it shouldn't rust, but there's rust there. This wheel still, the brakes are still on. Let me just release the brakes. Okay, so now I could spin. So yeah, there's corrosion right here, or rust, I should say. You see that right there? That's rust right there. That's interesting. That's rust there. I would not expected that. So anyways, that's how you take off that swing arm. And now I can just slide the wheel off, right? Let's see, slide the wheel off right here, like so. Mindful of these two things, just move these two out of the way. These the shock and the fender cover here. Let me see, one hand is gonna do this, while the other hand grabs this and slides it out. There we go. That's it. So that's how you remove the wheel. And you check, you check your brakes, and the brakes are fine. You can check the diameter here, and it should be fine because this thing only has 5,500 miles. I see a bunch of brake dust, so I'm gonna have this thing face down and just kind of tap on this, let the brake dust drop down, and that should be good. All right, so that's taking off the back wheel. All right, so I got my back tire on. I didn't make a video of that because you could watch the video on the front tire. It's basically the same thing. So let's put this wheel back on. So I wiped everything clean. The spline looks like it has hardly any grease on there, or whatever grease is on it. Looks like it's kind of looks like it's caked up. It's been over 13 years since the bike was made, so that's 13 years ago with the last bit of grease. So let me just add a little bit of grease along the spine here, not too much. I mean, if there wasn't that much grease to begin with, that means it didn't really need any grease. You do this so that way it just in the future it makes removing and installing easier if it's not corroded, right? A little bit of that. So I'm just using basically Mobil 1 synthetic grease, and that's bearing grease, I believe. All right, so I have to clear the shock and the fender. So I bring this thing in place right in here. Get the shock up. Place this in here. Actually, I probably have to go from underneath. I think I have to go from, instead of going in like this, I have to go in from like this angle. Like that angle. There you go, that's better. Let's see. Oh shit. Oof, man, that really, it's a tight fit right there. Finding that spline now. Well, that spline not. There it goes. That's a spline. Slide it in. We're good there. I'm gonna add a little bit of grease to the spindle here. It's a good idea to always add some grease on here. Keep it nice and thin. You know, it doesn't need a whole lot. Okay, that's good. So I have my my swing arm here. All right, swing arm. So I need to obviously slide it into the spindle. Lift up the shock, because the shock mounts right here, and there's fender. But actually, let's slide this in first. Let me position it as close in place as I could possibly get it, which is right about there. Okay. If you put this in nice and square, it should slip right in. There shouldn't be any problems whatsoever. Okay, like so. Let's see, something, just slightly, something hung up a little bit. There we go. Okay, shock bolt, fender mounts. Put the fender mounts back on. What's the shock bolt? Okay, the shock bolt's right here. Actually, let me place the mounting. Actually, no, I found it. This one's the silver one right here. So this thread right here is nice and clean, so I'm not gonna bother with wiping that clean. Just bring it in there. As soon as it touches, just stop right there. That's just my hand tightening only. Where is my? So you just grab a wire brush. I have a stainless steel wire brush right here. So the bolt on the bottom, the threads, you see is kind of, you see the white, that's corrosion. So I'm just gonna, all the whiteness is corrosion. I'm just gonna brush that corrosion off. The thread on the other side is going to have corrosion too, but the corrosion on the other side is probably going to be aluminum corrosion, aluminum oxide, or this side is going to be, because this is a steel bolt. It's probably a stainless steel bolt, looks by the looks of it. So it's going to be a little bit of it's a different type of oxidation, but still oxidation nonetheless. So just brush off all that corrosion. I should get an air compressor and just blow in here, but I'm never going to do that. I'm just going to stick it in here. That's good enough. Screw this on. It's a little faster this way. So it stops. I'm good there. Stop there. Now you put the shock mount bolt in here. So the shock mount bolt, it looks like it's kind of, the shock mount bolt is a little bit higher, and where this hole right here is a little bit lower. So I think I have to lift the wheel, the back wheel up just a tiny bit. Just push it up just a little bit, just so it slides in. Squeeze on, finger. That's a 10 millimeter, I believe. No, that's a 12. There's a 12. Where's my 12 millimeter? 12 millimeter. I'm still pushing pressure on the wheel, pushing it up. Let's see. I'm gonna ratchet a little faster this way. Oops, wrong direction. All right, so that's just stopping it. I didn't actually like tighten it down. I will do that in a few seconds. All right, so these two are the fenders. This one. This another. Let's tighten these ones up. Okay, tighten this up. Let's see. Let's put this bolt in place right here. So this is bolt by itself. Underneath the bolt is that little spacer. Remember this wing arm here. There's a small spacer on this side. It's like about that thick. And the other side, that spacer is like 2 inches long. So be mindful of those. Let's just leave that right there like that. All right, let's tighten this one. Okay, that's good. Switch my bolt to 14. Get off my ass, get my feet, have a little bit of leverage. Okay, it's right there. I'm not sure what the torque is on this. I'm just going by feel. Let's get it there. So let's tighten. I need to tighten this one up. I'm gonna use my impact driver, the same way that I took it off. So put it on the same way. Makes it easy on myself. In here, and I'm gonna hold the impact for maybe 2 seconds. Oops, out of batteries. No, wait a minute. No, it's not out of batteries. What the hell? That's weird. That's never happened before. It's blinking. That means it's something not right. Let me take out the battery and put it back on. Okay. So that's good. Okay. So I'm gonna hold it for about 2 seconds. Okay, that's good. And it's on. That's it. That's how you put the wheel back on. Now you just need to put the exhaust back on. But yeah, so that's putting the wheel back on.